Are you being a puppet in your marriage? And I want to set the context for this, right? Like walking on eggshells and having pleasing behaviors towards our wives, like it's super common. It's a really big red flag when men do that, and it direct symptom of a dysfunctioning marriage. Okay, it has so many downsides, it's not even funny. You lose respect, you compromise who you are as a man because you're acting in a way that you know you shouldn't, and it doesn't represent you, but yet you're still doing it. It also makes you unhappy and scared, right? While setting up expectations with your wife that most of the time she doesn't meet. And it has you kind of constantly be disappointed, right? You can be of service to your wife, don't misunderstand me. That's fine. But that has to come from a place of no expectations and from a place of self-sufficiency, right? While having the courage to stop it if you were to compromise yourself. Like you want to be of service to your wife, but only to the degree to which it doesn't compromise you. As soon as you're compromising yourself, now we're talking about a bullet-driven behavior that's causing you to go into pleasing. So to stop being a puppet, there's a few things you need to focus on, okay? And we're going to talk about specifically 3. So first, you need to eradicate codependency to your wife, right? Now, it doesn't have to be the other way. And what I mean by that is, let's maybe take out the co and talk about dependency, right? Because codependency here means your wife is dependent on you and you are dependent on her. Now, when you take away your side of codependency or dependency, then only now your wife potentially is dependent on you or has dependency on you. And that's okay. The two are not mutually exclusive. You can lead the way in eradicating your dependency on her. And if she's still, expressing or showing dependent behaviors towards you, that's fine. Don't make her wrong for it just because you are dealing with your side. Okay? And then next one is you want to become self-sufficient as a man, father, and husband. Okay? What this means is that those insecurities, those bullets that you have, you want to get rid of them. And it's an emotional process. It is not a logical process, right? When you got most of your bullets as a child, you did not think your way into it. You felt your way into it. And so for you to think that you're going to go to therapy or counseling, or you're going to sit at home, or you're going to talk to your friends, and you're going to talk yourself out of insecurities, is just ridiculous. It doesn't work that way. It's probably one of the reasons why you've recognized and you can look back at patterns where you mustered your willpower up and said you're going to change, but you didn't. Because your willpower ran out and you fell back into the same emotionally driven tendencies, right? So you have to get rid of your insecurities in order to be able to emotionally be in control of yourself. That's going to alter your behaviors, okay? And then you got to understand the downside of expectations and why they are dangerous, okay? As men, we set up expectations from our wives. We expect our wives to do certain things because we do X, Y, Z. Okay? A lot of the times we even expect her to do stuff even when we don't do things. Even when we don't do our chores, we'll expect our wives to do stuff for us. And we have expectations around that. And that's obviously is not cool. But it's not cool even when you're doing stuff for her to expect. It's the opposite of being of service. Okay? And when you eradicate codependency, when you become emotionally self-sufficient, and when you start to understand that having expectations from your wife will only lead you to disappointment, right? When you address these 3 things, You feeling like a puppet in your marriage, somebody who's walking on eggshells, constantly worried about what the wife is going to do or say, right, is going to change. Now add in some ability to boost your own confidence. Add in the ability to have a high self-worth. And this puppeteer relationship goes away. And the coolest thing in all of this, you want to gain your wife's respect back, this is one of the critical ways to do it. Because your wife will respect you when essentially you grab your balls back, right? And you do it in a way that's not arrogant and that's not offensive. Yeah.
Yeah, and that all ties back to the insecurities as well, right? Like a man's ability to grab his balls, yeah, physically very easy to do it. Um, but yeah, grabbing your balls mentally and emotionally, again, insecurities will create that barrier between your ability to do it and your ability not to do it, right? That those feelings of um, being that puppet. Right, a lot of that comes back to what we were chatting about earlier with like that self-worth. Where's your confidence at? Where's all those other components as well? Like where are they at? And all of those feed into that your ability for self-sufficiency. So yes, we talk about a lot of stuff, but there are so many overlaps and ties between all the different topics that we're highlighting and breaking down to a certain degree.
Yeah, there's multiple components, right? But these three will give you the biggest bang for your buck when it comes to this. So if you want, biggest bang for your buck. I mean, the biggest impact or change, sudden change. These are things to focus on.